So I've just made my way down to Sellicks Beach, about a 2-hour drive south of where I live in the Barossa Valley. It's actually a new stomping ground for me. I haven't been here before. Looks very interesting. I seen a post on Instagram actually of this particular cliff face here, just in the background. Sort of caught my eye, and never been here before. I've come to Aldinga and Port Wollonga and shot the infamous jetty out there at Port Wollonga, but never been in this particular location, so this is all new to me. I haven't even been in this particular area. I'm just sort of following what looks like some sort of path down here on the cliff face, so you're gonna have to bear with me here. So what I'm trying to do is just get down to the beach and then get back up to the cliffs there, just behind me. Really does look like a nice location. I feel like in summertime this would all die off, and all this green grass and that here would just come brown and probably not look as good as what it does right now, especially coming into spring. I feel like it's probably the best time to actually photograph this area. But what I've really come for is to get down to the beach and get up to this cliff face here and get that real jagged cliff edge look. Something I've never seen in South Australia before actually. It sort of looks like a very American landscape. Just trying to be careful here so I don't slip down. It's real rocky. Got a bit of weight on my back as well, sort of pushing me down the cliff here. Looks like there's some sort of holiday shack as well, or someone's house. I'm not sure what that is. Just up there on the cliff there. Would have been easier if I could have just went there, but I don't really want to disturb people too much. It's actually a really calm day here on the beach. Usually it's quite windy, but I was watching the weather quite closely throughout the week, and I felt like today was going to be the best day to come out shooting, but it seems like there's no cloud at all. And when I was actually watching the weather, it said there was actually going to be even a shower or two, and there's not even a cloud in the sky really. So I'm kind of disappointed about that, considering I drove 2 hours all the way down south here to capture this particular spot, and I really wanted some dramatic clouds. So hopefully in the next hour or so, when the sun goes down, some clouds actually blow in, because it could be a waste of my time or it could be a good time, I'm not sure. I won't be really shooting directly into the sun right there. That's not the area I'm shooting. I'm actually shooting more southwest region, because I want to capture the cliff face running down south here. So yeah, once I get down to the beach here, I'll go back up the hill there where I want to potentially take a photo and see if I can find a composition that I like. Hopefully it works out. Hopefully I can catch something a little bit different, unique. Okay, so after climbing up the second little hill here, which was a fair challenge considering that the rocks are very slippery, I have made it up to the top of this ridge, and I'm just following this ridge line here. And I've got my foreground here. So now it's just the fact of trying to find a little spot to set up, take photos. It's quite comfortable up here actually now that I'm actually at the top. It's actually pretty nice. And I really want to set myself up so I can capture a large portion these like rugged sand cliff edge here. I really quite like that. But I can see, and I don't think you can see in the GoPro, but there's some industrial sort of areas and houses in the distance there. I kind of want to block that out so you don't see that. I want to keep more of the nature look in my photograph here. Even though Sellicks Beach is actually quite a secluded beach outside of Adelaide, so it's quite nice, it's quite calm, there's not many people around at all. Actually, I haven't even seen anybody. So it is really quite nice here. But I'll just keep walking along the ridge line. I was actually trying to see if I could find a little plant in the foreground that I could utilize just to add a little bit more depth to my photo, a little bit more interest. I really do like photographing foreground aspects rather than just a sunset or, you know, something in the sky. Like, I really try and keep a lot of foreground interest. That's what, to me, that's what makes a photograph interesting and catches the eye. You want something in the foreground that draws you into the image. And you know, I feel like this massive cliff edge here is a very good point of interest. And as the sun comes in, sweeping onto the lights sweeping onto the cliff here, that's giving that really good depth into the cliff. Good shadows, good highlights. And then we've got the cliff in the distance running directly south, and that'll be the centered point of my image. So that's what I really want to capture. But at the moment it's dead clear, as you can see. Not many clouds in the sky. There's some distant cloud. Hopefully that can sweep up on sunset, because this is a really nice spot and I'd really like to capture something good here. If I don't capture something that I would like to tonight, I will have to make another trip and spend a little bit more time trying to capture this area. But we've still got a bit of time till sunset, so I just allowed enough time for me to get up here and scope out the area. But I can just relax for now and try and find a really nice spot to take photos. If and hopefully that cloud actually comes down, that's in the south there. You can see it real down there in the south. It's really dark. Actually looks like it could be raining down there as well. I really want that to blow up, but we can only time will tell. Still got a little bit of time, maybe about an hour or so. It's just a bit unfortunate that there's no clouds, because I feel like a clear day, even with this nice foreground here, it's not going to look as dramatic as I was actually hoping for. But see what happens, fingers crossed. Okay, it's getting super close to sundown now, and it's gotten super cold too. The cloud has somewhat come over the horizon a little bit, but not to where I want it to be. You can see that little strip on the horizon there. Looks nice, but it's just not in my field of view. So unfortunately, it's just not my day. I was watching the weather all day today, and it did say it was going to be all cloudy, even a chance of rain, like I said before, and it just hasn't produced. So kind of like stuck without a photo. I haven't really done much with the camera. I've just sort of tried to find a good composition here. I've sort of set up in a spot where I think I would potentially get a nice photo, but it's just not looking to be successful for me today. Beautiful location though, so I'll definitely be returning at some point. Just today, it's just not going to work out, so that's just photography for you. More often than not, I'll come out shooting and I'll spend a good day like today, driving 2 hours one way just to reach a destination, and walk away with, you know, not much. But that's just the way that it is when you do landscape photography. You cannot predict the weather that well. I wish I could. But I really do think this foreground here, these jagged cliff edges right there, I think that's a really good foreground. And I think in the right conditions, I think it will turn out really good. I have an image in my head, and hopefully I can get here on the right conditions and the right day and really produce a nice photo for you all. And once again, when I do that, I'll be definitely documenting it on my GoPro here and posting it up for everyone to see. I don't think this time I'll have an image for you to look at, but it gives you a good insight to where I actually go and what I do. And you know, I've sort of found a nice little spot here that I've not yet photographed. Just up here, there's the lookout for everyone to actually see it. Obviously it's a bit of a popular spot to actually look out, because I've seen a few people actually up there taking photos and just sort of viewing out here. I'm surprised I actually haven't come across this location before. I sort of travel along the coast here quite a lot, but I've never actually been to Sellicks beach itself. I've always just been to Aldinga and then even further down like Second Valley Way, and then on to Kangaroo Island, which is a very popular spot for landscape photographers like myself and many others. And the colour that was actually there on sunset today has actually disappeared quite rapidly, and it's not even actual sundown yet at all. It's still got about 5 minutes till actual sunset, and it looks like it's died out. The cloud looks quite heavy, and actually looks like there's some big heavy rainfall coming from what it looks like. It looks very dark back there on the horizon, but it just hasn't come up quick enough for me, what I wanted, unfortunately. So I'll have to make my way down this ridge line here and then back to the car and go get some dinner, I think. Try again another day, I think.